last module, maybe you learned from Vincent a little bit about best practices working with creators. Let's talk a little bit about that with somebody who's actually doing it. Now, the interesting thing is, I've talked to sellers on TikTok Shop, and them, like, the Colemans and things, who, I don't know, maybe 90% of their sales come from creator partnerships. And actually, I would say that's more common than your route. So it's interesting to see that, you've got a different route, especially with live, and we're definitely going to get to talk about that. But even though you're doing so well on live, influencer relationships and promotion still plays a role in your strategy, right?
Yeah, so we have an agency that helps us with our outreach. So we're doing manual outreach using the TikTok tools right now. It's not the best process, but that's what we're using right now to reach out to the affiliates. And so we're sending out 100 samples a week to affiliates. So it's a decent number that we send out. And so, but we put our affiliates into two different groups. So we have the mercenaries and the missionaries. And so we do have a lot of customers that are just really, really great customers, and they come to us and say, how do we help market your products? And so we actually will work with them to help get them their followers, and so they can get over the threshold with you and actually set up an affiliate account. So we've been probably a lot more successful from a total sales standpoint from some of these missionaries. These are people that really just care about the brand and the product, and they're buying the product and giving it to their friends. And we were like, hey, why don't you just get set up as an affiliate, and then you can I'd rather give them a percentage than giving Bezos or somebody else a percentage.
Didn't you say before that you have one diehard customer who actually drives like 5 hours to run your live or something like that?
9. He'll drive from Minneapolis, right? And so that's
Minneapolis to Kansas.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about TikTok is it's allowed us to build a community and build where like Amazon is just a little more impersonal. Like you can't connect with the people in the same way you can on TikTok, where with our live streams, our videos, and things like that, we've built a community, and so where people are really invested in it. So we have an individual that set up as a moderator. He's been a longtime customer. He set up as a moderator on our lives, and that's what he does after work. On his long weekends, he'll drive from Minneapolis to Wichita. It's 9 hours that he'll drive and hang out in the studio so he can moderate there in the studio, which is super cool.
And you don't pay him.
No,
he's giving free underwear.
Like he's asking us to, is it okay if I drive 9 hours on my holiday weekend and come and hang out in the studio? They're like, yeah, that's awesome.
That would never happen on Amazon. Pretty much. That's incredible. Now, 100 samples a week.
Yeah.
Like you probably played around with a number. Like, how do you look at the numbers to make that worthwhile? Like 100, there's a cost, obviously, that's associated with that.
Yeah.
You understand that not all 100 people are going to make videos, and not all people who make videos are going to go viral and stuff. So how did you come to that number? Like, what are you shooting for? Of those 100, how many do you expect to actually put out content? How many, sales overall are you hoping to get from whatever content, however many of those 100, release? How do the numbers work for you?
So we are looking at thresholds with the affiliates, and so they need to be doing at least 1,000 GMV.
Okay.
And then a 90% chance that they're gonna, or probability. So you look in the tools that they're gonna post. I mean, a lot of brands just don't even look at those thresholds, but it depends on your profit margin, like your margin percent. I know, like Josh Hadley, there's some people that they have a lot higher margins on things, and so they'll send out way more samples. They don't even look at those thresholds. Whereas somebody has a higher price point, then you have to be a lot more discerning about who you're going to send to, because you just can't afford to send a whole lot out that are not going to post. And so we expect 90+% are going to post on those on that content, and we want at least 2 sales per video, but it's going to be more. I mean,
on average,
typically, going to be more than that. Now, anybody that posts on us as an affiliate, they put a post out there, we're going to run ads on that content automatically because it's part of our GMV Max ads. And so we expect very little of anything from an organic sale for them, but we're going to run ads on that and push that content.
So even with the extra you're using to promote that and the cost of what you're giving out, if you only get 2 sales from each, it's still worth it for you to make that in these investments?
Yeah, we want. I mean, if we get 2 sales each, like on average, it's going to work. But we're going to have some that we're going to have a whole lot more. You're going to have those, and part of it's finding those affiliates where you're really going to do a lot higher numbers with, because you're, it's the 80-20, actually maybe less than that, right? It's more like 95, like you're going to get 95 for sales from like 5% of your affiliates. But you gotta cast a pretty wide net to find some of them, because and in some cases for us, like with TikTok, we're trying to get to different parts of the network, right? And different algorithm, right? So it's different women's groups and different these niches via those different affiliates, where the algorithm is very trained on our current followers. And so getting a pretty broad net cast with these allows us to tap into these other networks, and then it gets pushed to their followers.
Okay. Now, for people who really work well, like they really perform well, their videos, do you then like make a relationship with them, where then you go back to them and say, hey, I've got some other, would you like to try this new line and things like that? Or are these collaborations kind of like just one-offs?
No, people are performing well, we'll move them to a target plan, and we give them a higher commission rate. So our open plan is a 15% commission rate, and then we have a 20% on our target commissions. And then we'll do special coupons, flash sales, and things like that with those collaborators. And one affiliate, I flew to Florida and helped her set up her studio and gave her a live streaming device. Actually, like, it's $1,000 Kudothi live streaming device. And so we've built some pretty strong relationships with some of those affiliates. So we send them mannequins for their sets and samples, and not just samples, but just like literally helping them equip their set if they're live streaming or if they're doing a lot of posts, because we do have some creators that they're posting multiple times a day for our product.
Okay. Now, to afford 15% commission means your profit, I would assume, is at more than 20 or potentially more. If somebody doesn't have that much room on their product, they should only do the 10%, or like, it's hard to get people at 10%. You've got to be able to give that minimum 15.
It really depends. When you're first starting, I do recommend that you go with a higher rate, just to incentivize more people to get in, and then you can, as you demonstrate sales and you get some history, then you can move that down. But to start, we do recommend that you may actually have to be higher, 30 or 40% to get started, because those first sales are really, really important, and to just start getting content out there. And it's better to try to have a higher percentage. It's kind of like on Amazon, when you first start and launch, you got to do the PPC, you got to pay to play to be at the top. And so this is one of the things you have to do to be able to get out there, because the affiliates are just inundated with requests, right? And so, like, how are you going to stand out amongst the 100 other people that sent them a message today, right? And so, but if you will give them a higher affiliate percentage, then there's a lot greater chance that they're actually going to try to create content for you. But it depends on the level of affiliate as well, right? Or are they 1,000 GMV affiliate, or are they a 25,000 GMV?
But then how do you control that? Like, if something does go viral, and, obviously at 30%, 40% commission, I'm losing money on it. I don't want somebody to sell 1,000 of those per se. Mm-hmm. So how do you control that? If that have, like, just with your inventory numbers, or you cut it off after like, or has that ever happened to you, where you're launching a product and you put a 40% to get some momentum, but then 500 units are sold, where now you're losing, $5 on every order, or $2 or something like that? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, you could go and adjust the inventory and just shut down. We look, or unfortunately, we haven't had that problem. We haven't had like a crazy viral. A lot of people talk about having these like super viral videos, and that would be super awesome. We post content, our affiliates post content, and we make sales. So we grind and we work, and so it's work, right, to go and do it. We've never had anything that's viral to have to deal with that type of problem. But there's some things you could do to kind of stop it from running. Now, with the commission structure, you can set a commission for an organic sale and a commission for a paid sale, right? So so if you're going to run ads on it, you can go and there's a 2-tiered commission rate. So you can go and change the commission rate. So for organic push, okay, maybe I'm going to offer 30%, but if I'm going to push ads on it and I can't make from a profitability standpoint, I can only do it for 7%, then you go and set that for 7.
All right, so finding influencers. You said you have like an agency handling it. Helium 10 has a software where you can go in and communicate with influencers, like find them in bulk. And one of the things you said is, hey, you look for somebody doing at least 1,000 GMV and 90% chance of making videos. What else are you looking for? Like, for example, for one of my brands, the Manny's Mysterious Oddities, I find a really great, I'm like really looking for niche. Like, I'm looking for for people with black lipstick and nose rings and really got witchy stuff and stuff, like, because it's so niche, right? I'm like, man, not only am I looking for somebody with good metrics, but like, I want to get somebody that I have a really strong feeling that the target audience that is watching them is my target audience. And so like, I'm taking the extra step and looking at their actual TikTok things. But like underwear, men's underwear, it's not like I can visually look for things like that. So how does your agency look for people that would be a good fit? Is it just the numbers, or are they actually looking to see if they post certain kinds of videos about certain kind of products, or how do you find somebody good?
Yeah, well, we have some of our products are geared specifically towards, say, athletic applications, right? So we have our running tights, we have a jog, and so we have some different athletic focused products, and so we reach out to athletic influencers, people that are posting like workout content, gym content, those types of things, and so we'll target that way, or competitors that we have, and so there's different people use different tools, right, to go and identify sales for a competing product and say, okay, these are the different affiliates that are posting content, for those. And so you have to be the certain type of person that may be comfortable posting about underwear, right?
Yeah.
But in some cases, that's a male customer. In other cases, you have a lot of men's underwear is purchased by women, right? And so we are very aggressively pushing to get more women influencers. Actually, one of our top affiliates is actually a 65-year-old female in Florida. So some people think, oh, TikTok's all about young people. It's this and that. Yeah. No, I mean, so like she's crushing it. So she goes live with us. So she does like skincare, and she's doing dresses, and then she's doing men's underwear. And so she sells a lot of our underwear. And so like you might think you have a certain avatar that would be the ideal like affiliate for the brand, but you'd be surprised that there may be some other people that can move the product pretty well and access different networks that your brand right now is not getting access to, which is like, okay, senior citizen females in South Florida.
I love that. All right. Well, that's kind of surprising. You think, don't kind of prejudge anybody. Oh, they wouldn't be a good affiliate for me. If a 65-year-old woman can sell hundreds and hundreds of men's underwear, I think that teaches you guys a lesson out there. Now, one thing I noticed when I launched one of my coffin shelf listings, and I actually sent out a bunch of samples and a few blank videos, when I looked, it said there's like 100 people who have made videos about your product. I haven't given out 100 samples. Yeah. So I guess like people can see products that they think might be go trending, and they can just make their own videos even without the physical product. Do you guys have that too, where people have pushed? So basically, anybody who's a TikTok affiliate can look at your store and say, hey, I want to push this product. Do you ever run ads on their content, or you exclusively save that for like people who are affiliates of yours?
No, we'll run it on anybody. So we have an open plan, right? So if they're set up as an affiliate, they can go, and if they purchase the product from us, and so that happens a lot. We have individuals that will just buy our product, and they're already set up as an affiliate, and they will just go and put it in their shop, and they'll go and post content on it.
What do you have to have set up on the back end for that to be, is that something you have to set up, or by default, all your products are always open to anybody who wants to make videos about it?
Yeah, we're open in that regard. Some brands want to be a little more choosy. Maybe they're worried about protecting their brand image and things like that. But that tends to be bigger brands, and that's not necessarily TikTok. TikTok's a lot more organic. It's a lot more raw, just as far as the content, and so it's been just absolutely amazing for us, where we've had individuals that will go just buy the product, they absolutely love it, and then they'll go and start posting content on it. So in some cases, you do have some people that will jump on your listing and start selling things, and they'll just take a screenshot, kind of low quality posts, and just screenshots saying, hey, sales, kind of like this flashy thing, but they're not actually purchasing it, but they've done sales. So it's kind of surprising, some of the posts that people will do on TikTok, and it just looks like trash, and it's just making sales. Yeah. So do I get mad about that? This guy did this low quality posts, but it's making sales.
How do you how much coaching are you having to do when you're communicating? Is it just here's a sample, I know there's a 90% chance they're going to make a video, run with it? Or in the templates that your agency sends out, or that you talk to them, are you telling them, hey, this is the kind of video that works well, or hey, this is what we suggest? What's the process like there?
Yeah, it's pretty minimal as far as what we're giving to them. We want it to be fairly organic as far as what they would actually just be generating from a content standpoint. We don't want it to sound like overly scripted. There's some things that we're working on right now to work with our larger affiliates, where with the Discord, where we would be talking more benefits, new product launches, and things like that, to be able to help with them and communicate with them. Right now, I'm doing a lot of texting. You know, I'm just texting or DMing the affiliates and talking to them about the products that my higher performing affiliates. So it's just the individual, like one-on-one sharing with them. But yeah, we have some basic selling points or benefits for the product. But like I said, there's a lot of our best affiliates are people that are already customers, and so they are just talking about why they love it, right, and why they love the product.
Now, I believe when you set these campaigns up, you, in addition to choosing like the commission, you can also say, hey, am I looking for videos or also live, for them to do live? Like, do you guys always 100% open it all up for people who want to do either, or do you have certain things where you're like, no, I'm only looking for videos, or I'm only looking for people who want to do a live?
No, both. Yeah, we want people to go live. We'd love that. So, but we're not providing any special incentives right now, other than just with a couple affiliates where we're actually doing some flash sales with them and then helping them with get their sets and everything set up. And so, but yeah, we want both, right? We want live stream content and posts. So, but it's open. So, other than I would say from an open collaboration standpoint, they can just go and do that from the target with our top performing affiliates. We have the targeted plans where they have the higher commission rates.
Okay. All right, guys, you've got your listing set up. You've got your logistics set up. Now make sure to hop into the TikTok influencer finder in Helium 10. You don't have to use his, 1,000 GMV. Maybe you want to go less. Maybe you want to be more picky. You want to go more. At the rate of how likely they are to do a video, that's kind of an important metric. Do whatever works for you. Start finding some influencers. Reach out, make a campaign. Something that I didn't consider in your initial ones. You might want to go with a higher commission rate, like he said, just to get that initial momentum, kind of like what we think about when we're doing an Amazon honeymoon period launch. So think about that and reach out to 20, 50, even 100 influencers this week with your product, if you guys can afford giving out that many units. And let's see if you can get 80, 90 of those 100 people to put videos out your product. You're going to see this ripple effect that's going to happen right at the beginning of your product. So wish you guys the best of luck.